Welcome to Conservative Pride. Well, it seems that Donald Trump's 2024 has been incredible since the election. He not only landed a landslide victory over the Harris campaign, he has leaders around the globe complying, his legal problems are miraculously disappearing, and now ABC News has to take a bow. They settled a lawsuit with Trump for $15 million and will make a statement. Boy, oh boy, it's really entertaining to see all you Trump haters get put in your place. This is the price for just saying whatever you want, thinking you'll have no repercussions. Don't forget, the lovely and very pleasant ladies from The View are on this same channel. In light of this ruling, I'd be very careful talking if I were them. ABC News and George Stephanopoulos are merely the next victims of their own screw-ups. By all means, keep this up so we can know who's who, and we can handle you accordingly. With that said, let's get into the video.
ABC News and George Stephanopoulos have reached a settlement with President-elect Trump in his defamation lawsuit. The network agrees to pay $15 million as a charitable contribution to Trump's presidential library. ABC and Stephanopoulos will also issue statements of regret as an editor's note to the March 2024 article and television segment that prompted Trump to file the lawsuit earlier this year. Trump sued Stephanopoulos after he asserted in an interview that Trump was found, quote, liable for rape in a civil case, despite the fact that a jury actually determined Trump was liable for, quote, sexual abuse, which has a distinct definition under New York law.
This is just another example of hating a person so much that you would stoop to saying anything to bury him. This is one of the reasons why the mainstream media has been losing so many viewers lately. We don't trust you, sir. I'm not just talking to George Stephanopoulos here. This also goes out to MSNBC, CNN, and at times Fox News. Many of us have taken to YouTube to find good information. You can look at a segment on the news, and they will show you a clip that makes Donald Trump look horrible. Then when you pull up the whole video on YouTube, you find out that the clip was taken out of context. We are tired of this being done. Either you are going to stand tall and deliver the unbiased news or not. Why should we believe everything you say when we've caught you in so many little lies? Well, you might find soon that the media is going to change altogether. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised if you see some of these channels eventually place podcasters in their anchor chairs. Remember, you heard this from Conservative Pride first. Roll it.
Who gave candid and courageous testimony about her own experience as a victim weeks before launching her run for Congress in 2019.
From some of us who've been raped, it can take 25 years to get up the courage and talk about being a victim of rape. And the first thing that happens when a woman comes out in public and says she's been, what is the first thing out of someone's mouth? Is that it didn't happen. This is why women do not come forward. They are afraid.
Congresswoman, thanks for joining us this morning. And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and two separate juries have found him liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was at the age of 16, and any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George, and I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not gonna do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape? Just
it was
answer the
not a
question.
criminal court. This was
a civil court.
It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money, and I find that offensive.
I'm asking you about the man
But as a victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape. You're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive. For my political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. I just answered your question.
What is the answer?
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was sexual abuse. It wasn't actually, by the way, and E. Jean Carroll joked about all the money she's going to get and made a mockery out of this case. And I think that's offensive. There's a reason why women don't come forward.
She's 100% right. Trump was not convicted in a criminal court for the R word. This is what landed George in hot water with Trump. Did you all hear how confident he was when he used the word over and over? This is called Trump derangement syndrome. Unfortunately, the ladies from The View also suffer from this disorder. This is where a person or persons do or say anything to make Donald Trump look bad, whether it is true or not. I know it might sound wacky at first, but trust me, it is a real thing. All you have to do is check out Joy Reid or Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, and you'll see it on full display. As a matter of fact, forget I even said that. Nobody should be watching that mess. Let's finish up with Stephanopoulos making a fool out of himself. Before we go there, however, I need you to like and subscribe. See you on the next episode.
And when you have someone who says that they're right and they make a mockery out of this civil court judgment, it's offensive to other women. It makes it harder for other women to come forward when another woman has made a mockery of it.
You said women don't come forward because they are afraid. They are afraid
they're
because
judged
they're defamed
and shamed,
by those
like you're trying to shame me this morning.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the. That's what Donald Trump has been found guilty of doing.
He defended himself over that and denies that it ever happened, but he was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was a civil judgment over sexual abuse. So is that the distinction you're making? A civil judgment is okay, but a criminal judgment is not? This is different, and they didn't even input all of the evidence into the civil case either, because some of the information she provided wasn't even accurate or correct. But to sit here and ask me as a victim to try to shame me for my political choices is wrong, and I think it's offensive.
You can repeat that again and again and again.
And I'm going to, because I
I've done
find it
nothing to shame
deeply
you.
offensive.
You don't find it offensive that Donald Trump has been found liable for?
I find it offensive as a victim that you're trying to shame me for my political choices, and I've said again repeatedly, E. Jean Carroll has made a mockery out of rape by joking about it. I don't find that funny.
Well,
rape is not funny.
You've made it perfectly clear.
It's serious.
You've made it perfectly clear.
Rape
You're comfortable.
is serious.
It is
it's
serious.
Not funny, and it shouldn't be made a mockery of. But if you want to defend a woman who made a mockery out of rape, then you go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, actually, what you're doing is defending a man who's been found liable. I don't understand how you can do that.
Not in a criminal court of law. This was a civil judgment over sexual abuse, not rape, by the way, and she made a mockery out of it.
Can we pull up the Washington Post headline right there? In fact, it has been shown.